Right now, as you're watching this, thousands of Indian professionals are abandoning America, and what they're leaving behind could reshape the future of innovation forever. Over 100,000 high-skilled Indian workers on H-1B visas are actively exploring exits from the United States. This is the largest brain drain reversal in 40 years. And if you've ever wondered why your hospital ER wait is longer, or why the tech support on your favorite app feels different, this mass exodus might be the reason. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I subscribe. And I'll personally welcome you into the family. With that said, let's get started. Let me introduce you to someone who represents the shift. Dr. Priya Sharma, 34 years old, cardiac surgeon, trained at Stanford, saved over 200 lives in California hospitals. Last month, she packed her bags and moved to Bangalore. When I asked her why, she said, "I didn't leave America because I wanted to. I left because staying meant choosing between my career and my family." See, here's what most people don't understand about H-1B visas. You can't just switch jobs freely. You can't start your own business. And you're stuck in a green card backlog that can stretch over 10 years, sometimes decades. If you get laid off, you have 60 days to find another sponsor or leave the country. 60 days to uproot your entire life. According to a 2024 Pew Research study, 73% of Indian H-1B holders report extreme stress related to visa uncertainty. That's not just a statistic, that's 3 out of 4 people living in constant fear. For Priya, the breaking point came during the 2023 tech layoffs. Her husband, also on an H-1B, lost his job. Suddenly, they had 8 weeks to make an impossible choice: split their family apart, or leave together and abandon the life they'd built. They left. Today, Priya runs a telemedicine startup in India. She's earning more, owns equity in her company, and for the first time in 12 years, she sleeps peacefully. But Priya's story is just one thread. The real exodus involves someone you've probably never heard of, and his decision could cost America $10 billion. One engineer leaving Silicon Valley doesn't sound like news. Unless that engineer holds 47 patents and leads AI infrastructure teams that serve billions of people. Meet Rajesh Patel. 41 years old. Former senior engineer at Google. He architected cloud security systems that you've probably used today. Systems that protect 2 billion people worldwide. Rajesh spent 12 years in America. 12 years of paying taxes, contributing to Social Security he may never collect, mentoring American engineers, building critical infrastructure. And after all that, he's still waiting for a green card. But here's where it gets gut-wrenching. His daughter was born in California. American soil. American schools. American friends. When she turned 21, she aged out of his visa status. The country that raised her kicked her out. She had to self-deport. Rajesh told me, "America raised my daughter, then threw her out like she was nobody." So he left. And here's what that really means. A 2023 National Foundation for American Policy report found that for every H-1B worker who leaves, 1.8 American jobs are lost due to reduced innovation output. These aren't jobs being taken, they're jobs being created that now vanish with them. Today, Rajesh runs an AI research lab in Bangalore. He's hired 200 engineers. Brilliant minds working on breakthrough technology. And guess what? None of them are American. If Rajesh had gotten his green card, that lab would be in Seattle. Those 200 jobs? American. That innovation? American-owned. Instead, it's building India's tech ecosystem and potentially China's, since they're watching closely and investing heavily. And it's not just tech. The medical system is hemorrhaging talent in ways that'll hit you personally, maybe it already has. Imagine you need emergency surgery. You call your hospital and they tell you there's a 6-month wait for specialists. Sounds dystopian, right? It's already happening in parts of America. Here's a number that should terrify you. Indian-born doctors make up 9% of all physicians in America. That's over 90,000 doctors. In rural areas, that number jumps to 30%. These are the doctors treating your parents, delivering your babies, saving lives in ERs at 3 a.m. But in 2024 alone, More than 12,000 Indian doctors applied for medical licenses in India, the UK, and Canada. They're leaving. Dr. Arjun Mehta, 39-year-old oncologist, treated over 400 cancer patients annually in Texas. Imagine being so good at your job that 400 people trust you with their lives every year. Then his visa renewal got delayed. 8 months of bureaucratic limbo. His patients, people in the middle of chemotherapy, people fighting for their lives, had to scramble to find new doctors. Treatment plans disrupted. Trust shattered. He told me, watching my patients' faces when I told them I might have to leave, it felt like breaking their hearts with my bare hands. Arjun now practices in Dubai. Faster visa processing, better pay, zero uncertainty, and his family can actually plan a future. So what's the endgame here? And is there any way to stop the bleeding before it's too late? Here's the thing, this isn't irreversible. This can be fixed. But the window is closing fast, and every month that passes, more talent walks out the door and doesn't come back. There are 3 solutions that aren't radical, they're common sense. And they're already working in other countries. First, eliminate per-country caps on green cards. Right now, no single country can receive more than 7% of employment-based green cards in a year. This made sense maybe 50 years ago when immigration was more evenly distributed. Today, it punishes countries with large populations like India and China, even though they produce the most STEM talent. Second, automatic green cards for STEM PhDs from US universities. You spent 5 to 7 years getting a PhD at an American institution, contributing to research, paying tuition. Why are we kicking you out? Australia and Canada already do this. And guess where those PhD graduates are going? Third, let H-1B holders change jobs like everyone else. Right now, switching employers is a bureaucratic nightmare that can take months and leave you in legal limbo. This doesn't protect American workers, it just makes talented people easier to exploit and more likely to leave. The Brookings Institution calculated in 2024 that fixing high-skilled immigration policy could add $456 billion to US GDP over the next 10 years. $500 billion. And that's a conservative estimate. Think about it from a human level. The doctor who might save your life 10 years from now, the engineer who invents the technology your grandchildren will use, the teacher who inspires the next generation of American innovators, they're booking one-way tickets right now. And here's something interesting I've noticed, some of these returnees aren't even sad anymore. They're relieved. One ex-Google engineer told me, I feel like I can finally breathe. I can buy a house. I can plan my daughter's education. I can exist without fear. That should tell you something about what we've created here. But here's what haunts me. What if this becomes permanent? What if the next Einstein, the next Nikola Tesla, the next Steve Jobs, chooses Bangalore over Boston? Chooses Berlin over New York? Chooses Toronto over San Francisco? What if the American dream doesn't die, it just moves? So here's my question for you, and I really want to know what you think. If you were a brilliant engineer or doctor, and America made you wait 134 years for a green card while Canada offered one in 2 years, what would you choose? And if you're American watching this, do you want the people saving lives and building the future to stay, or should we just let them go? Drop your honest take in the comments. No politics, no tribalism, just real talk. Because here's the truth no one wants to admit. America isn't panicking yet. But maybe it should be. See you in the next one.